Thank God that's over. The Red Raiders absolutely no show down in the Bahamas against the number one team in the country and the Purdue Boilermakers, losing by 30, 86 to 56. In today's video, we'll discuss the major issues for Texas Tech men's basketball and the things that have to be changed right away for Grant McCasland's squad in order for them to meet expectations, including where the hell is LeJuan Watts? Where's the perimeter defense? Where's the motion on offense? And honestly, that's just the start of it. Let's get to it. Hey, how's it going? You know what? That's a dumbass question. I know you're pissed just like I am, so I'm not even going to ask it. Welcome into the Red and Black Report. I'm your host, RC Maxfield. I'm just going to ask you flat out, are you concerned about Texas Tech men's basketball? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know down in the comments below. I think I know what letter is going to be down there quite a bit. And hopefully I can talk y'all off a ledge a little bit here at the end of this video, but holy shit, that was bad. Let's get right into it. The Red Raiders, like I said, just got dog walked. I mean, easily the worst performance in the Grant McCasland era. I mean, just easily. And there's major concerns for Texas Tech right now. Serious ones. You see it on your screen. JT Toppin, does what JT Toppin does, 15-8. And honestly, I don't know if he could have gotten any more. I know he missed a couple of free throws there, but damn it, he was getting double, triple teamed at times and making the correct decision. And nobody decided to help him tonight in the Bahamas. I don't know if they've got the drink package there at the resort, but my God, did Texas Tech not want to move on the offensive side of the floor? I mean, Christian Anderson, we're going to have a discussion about that here in a minute, but let's just get to the recap real quick. JT Toppin leads you in scoring. Christian Anderson's the only other player in double figures for the Red Raiders in this matchup. Luke Bamboye started for the first time as a Red Raider. You wouldn't know it by his box score, but he definitely did play in this game. Same can be said for Tyree Bryan. Where the hell are you, bro? I'm not sure. I understand you were injured before the season, but you're playing right now. If you're too injured to play, rest, dude, because, my goodness, where the hell were you? Donovan Atwell actually started this game 3 for 3 from deep and kept Texas Tech in it for a long stretch of time. And when I say long stretch of time, I am 1000% over exaggerating because Purdue went on a 31-3 run. Let's let that milk for a second. 31-3 run. It just disgusting stuff by the Red Raiders for large portions of this game. Really, outside of the first 7 minutes, maybe 6. I might be being very generous with the first 7 there. Texas Tech was awful in this game, shooting 33% from the field, 23% from 3, and 57% from the free throw line. They had 9 turnovers. Honestly, give a ton of credit to Purdue. I think you have to. You have to give a ton of credit to the Boilermakers in this one. They had a game plan and made adjustments early on, and Texas Tech, simple and plain, just didn't have the horses to make things happen. Purdue is the number one team in the country for a reason, and I can promise you this, they're going to stay that way when the next AP poll comes out. And I think the Red Raiders may not be 15 anymore. They may be closer to 25, if in the top 25 at all, after this performance down in the Bahamas. All right. Enough with that in terms of the recap. We need to talk about this damn team because I was trying to keep it level-headed on Twitter. And truth be told, before I give any of this analysis, I want to say I do have confidence in this team. I really do. And I think call me foolish, call me whatever you want. I get it. Maybe I just have too much trust in Grant McCasland. Because last year, Texas Tech, you remember, in non-con lost to St. Joe's. And then they lost to UCF to start off Big 12 play, on January 1st. Okay? They were not great last year in non-con. The difference is they didn't play Illinois. They didn't play Purdue. They didn't play top 10 teams in the country in non-con. And, oh, by the way, you got a couple other top 25 matchups in the Arkansas Razorbacks and then Duke up at Madison Square Garden, right? So this non-con slate is legit. It's very good. I am not trying to, belittle how bad they were tonight. I'm just not. I do think that last year's team was obviously very good, but a lot of those early flaws were hidden from the fact of their non-con slate was kind of booty cheeks outside of Texas A&M. Okay, I trust Grant McCasland, what I'm about to say, and I think a lot of these things are going to change. I will say I don't know if one of them can, so stay around for the rest of the video to hear that. But first and foremost, we're going to have a LeJuan Watts conversation because he does not play physical. He's too passive. He takes way too long to make a decision. I mean, there were multiple plays in this game in particular where he was the primary ball handler in any given set that he was in, right? And it felt like it took him an eternity to make the right decision. And by the time he made the decision, it was no longer right because there was a Purdue defender there. He had multiple times where it just felt like, dude, what are we doing? Why are you not being aggressive? Where is this aggressive player from Washington State that was just a bully? Where is that? Where's the physicality, right? Like it's gone. I don't know where it is. And he was injured as well. I want to say that during the offseason and worked his way back. But like, dude, where the hell did your game go? Because it is one of those deals where I know how talented LeJuan Watts is. He's a very talented player. And I'll say this right now. At the time of this recording, it is Friday, November 21st, and Texas Tech just got shellacked, okay? If Texas Tech wants to be a second weekend team in the NCAA tournament, and I know you guys are going to just chastise me in the comments for thinking this still. I still think they can get there. Again, I might just be too high on Grant McCasland. I understand that. LeJuan Watts has to be your third best player. And right now, I'm not even sure he's good enough to play in a lot of the rotations you have. And I'm not the only one that thinks that. Grant McCasland does too. Luke Bamboye obviously started tonight because Purdue is one of the bigger teams in the country. But even when LeJuan Watts was in the game, he was pedestrian at best. If LeJuan Watts does not even remotely come close to his ceiling, Texas Tech has no shot to live up to a lot of the potential you and I both thought this team had coming into the season. Full stop. He's got to be more physical. He's got to be more decisive. And damn it, where is the aggression when it comes to getting out in transition? Not only him, but this whole team. It feels like, and CBS didn't have a lot of great comments during this game for Texas Tech, and rightfully so. I don't know why the hell you would, because Texas Tech was dog shit. That being said, I thought they did bring up one good point when talking about Texas Tech. The color commentator mentioned how the Red Raiders, even when they got out in transition, they were hesitant and they stopped on the perimeter and dribbled once or twice to really determine, is this the right decision, instead of going directly at the basket and putting the pressure on the Purdue defense. This is not something that's just been this game. If we're being honest, this is something that has to change. The Red Raiders are good enough to get out in transition. This is the reason you went out and got a lot of these athletes, at least on the perimeter, so you can have multiple of them on the floor so multiple guys can push the envelope in transition. And right now it's bubkiss in that regard. You are trash, hot ass trash if you are Texas Tech. There's no other way around it. And it starts with LeJuan Watts. You are here to be a guy that is a point forward and get out in transition, be physical, be aggressive, and be a multifaceted athlete on both ends of the floor that really creates mismatches for any team. And you just haven't been that. It has to be better. And again, there's a lot of other players I can pinpoint here, but I have high respect for LeJuan Watts' game. If he is not better, Texas Tech is going to be nowhere near their ceiling. And it has to happen right now in non-con so he can have that confidence going to play in the toughest conference in college basketball. Full stop. Okay? Another thing, no offensive movement. Are statues very popular in the Bahamas? I don't know. I've never been, but Texas Tech makes me think so. I don't understand where the hell they're doing. Like, is quicksand popular? Like, what the? I promised myself I would cut down on the F-bombs. I promised myself, but this is the time and the place. I'm telling myself that right now. Where the fuck is the movement, dude? You are so goddamn stationary. It is crazy. Okay? I don't understand it. You have a multitude of guys that are shooters. Tyree Bryant, Donovan Atwell, you are shooters. Move. Do not just run to the corner and stay there. Okay, I understand part of the offense is dumping the ball down to JT on the block, but damn it, when there's a pick and roll, move. Move. That's what's supposed to happen. There is no off-ball movement whatsoever, not an iota of it. And I don't understand it at all. I just don't. Also, this goes back to the transition point. Also, by the way, I have all my notes on a sticky note because I'm a weirdo. But no sense of urgency. It feels like there's long stretches of time where this team just goes through the motions. Obviously, not on the offensive end because they're pretty damn stationary down there. But like they just go through the motions, man. And it's like, do you want it? Do you want it, man? Do you want to go win the game? There's a couple of like Nolan Groves in this Purdue game was the only guy that felt like he was down to get on the ground and fight for those loose balls in the limited action. Like there was no want in a lot of it. It was just more so like if Purdue made a play, it was like, all right, well, they're the number one team in the country. Let's move on and try to get better next time. By the way, Texas Tech was not better the next time. I just want to point that out. But yeah, I mean, and speaking of Donovan Atwell and Tyree Bryant, you guys were 80th percentile in synergy. I was excited as hell watching y'all's tape, whether that was at Santa Clara and UNC Greensboro. And I know what some of y'all are going to say in the comments. Oh, well, this is what happens when you bring a mid-major guy up to the big leagues or whatever the hell y'all were going to say. I know it's something along those lines. Damn it, I think they're better than this, and I don't understand it. The only logical explanation I can think of for Tyree Bryant is his foot is not 100%. It's just not. He had a foot injury in the offseason. They tried to work through it, and you can tell he's hobbling a little bit, and he's not 100%, but maybe that foot is worse than we think because he's just slow on the perimeter. I don't know another nice way to say it. He's just slow, man. And Donovan Atwell tries, but like there's limits to what he's good at on the defensive end of the floor with the physicality. And again, it goes back to that. There's no real physicality on this team. I do want to talk about one aspect where I'm not full-blown panic mode. I'm more questioning right now and more in observation mode. And I will admit it's probably going towards more so the panic side of things than the, oh, I'm not worried at all meter if we're making one of those. Christian Anderson as a primary ball handler. Last year, you think about it, you had Elijah Hawkins, who was one of the best point guards in America at facilitating and just navigating an offense, right? I don't think anyone in the comments or on Twitter or wherever the hell you talk Texas Tech men's basketball during the game can deny that CA is talented. I don't think there's any way you can deny that. And if somebody says otherwise, I would probably mute them on Twitter. Don't give them the satisfaction of a block because blocking people is crazy, even though I have done it myself sometimes because some people deserve it. That being said, CA as a primary ball handler, I don't know right now, or I haven't seen enough, I should say, to make me feel very confident in it long term. That being said, I think he can be a primary ball handler, but not the primary ball handler in terms of like the guy that makes everything go. And maybe that changes. Maybe there's some hesitancy right now, and one good chew out by Grant McCassin will change things. But I mean, the best offensive lineup you have on the floor is with Jalen Petty as the primary ball handler, the true freshman, CA at the 2, Donovan Atwell at the 3. I mean, you would think it's LeJuan Watts at the 4. I tweeted that out. I probably got proved wrong so quickly on that front. And then JT at the 5, whoever I guess at the 4 at this point. But you got to see more from an assertiveness, specifically in the pick and roll. I think CA has been far too cautious, and it's like making sure that JT is the guy, right? Like, we got to make sure JT's the guy. We got to make sure JT's the guy. When JT's over here thinking to himself, damn it, I need some help. I need some help, man. And he's just not getting a lot of it right now. The thing that I don't know if this team is going to get better at, and I truly believe if there is one main downfall for this roster in 2025 and 2026, they're just not physical. They're not. Man, I hate calling a team soft. I really do. But they're closer to soft than they are physical, man. It's tough to watch. They just refuse to initiate contact on the offensive end. And when they do, the slightest, bit of contact really does nothing in terms of a positive for Texas Tech. They just go away from it in terms of not trying to get to the free throw line. And then on the defensive end, my goodness, it feels like when anyone gets down low that has any kind of talent, they just body bag Texas Tech on the interior. And a lot of that has to do with they're getting a full head of steam from the perimeter because the perimeter defense isn't very good. You and I both have high expectations for this Texas Tech team. There's no doubt about it. I'm done with the negative rant. I truly, truly have every amount of trust you can have that Grant McCasland will get this team back on track. But I understand completely the skepticism right now because that was a flat out embarrassing no-show loss to the number one team in the country. You lose by 30, 86-56. I mean, you were bad in every facet of the game. You did no favors to JT Toppin whatsoever. He was the only guy that felt like showed up from the jump outside of Donovan Atwell for like 3-4 minutes of the game. And you, when you don't show up, that's exactly what a number one team in the country should do to you, embarrass you. And Texas Tech got embarrassed by number one Purdue, losing 86-56. All right. Rant over. Let me know in the comments below. Are you concerned about this Texas Tech men's basketball team? I'm not overall concerned about them in terms of like the NCAA tournament or anything like that. I will say that maybe we need to have a conversation about their ceiling being changed. I think that that's more than fair at this point. I still have all the faith in the world in Grant McCasland, but again, let me know down in the comments below. Are you concerned about this Texas Tech men's basketball team? Simple Y for yes or N for no. All right, I'm RC Maxfield reminding you if you want 100% free Texas Tech football and men's basketball content all year long, all you got to do is simply like the video and hit that subscribe button to stay in the know on both. 100% free right here on the Red and Black Report. All right, I'm RC Maxfield reminding you, as always, stay safe and Reckham Tech.